Hi, good afternoon, guys. Today we have a special guest. His name is Dennis Toppin, and today we're gonna have another episode of GSF podcast. And today we have a really special guest. His name is Dennis Toppin, and you will get to know him through the podcast and the episode. And yes, hi Dennis Toppin. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
How was your day?
Good. Good. Last work, the usual. Do what I like to do,
And what you like to do?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. Got my own business. So working on your own business is something that's always fun to do because, it's your own thing.
Yes.
Not working for someone. You're not working on someone else's dream. You're fully focused on your own dream.
Yes.
And being able to do that, having that freedom, that's amazing. So I got a gym, 2 gyms at the moment.
Okay.
And we motivate clients from as young as 8 to as old as 85
Okay.
to get the best out of their lives, So it's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did you have your gym for?
Well, the first one,
When did you start it? Tell us the story about your gym. When did you start it?
the first one started, I think, 7 years ago. I always worked in the fitness industry, as in I was a personal trainer. I'm still an international trainer for Les Mills, meaning that we help develop group fitness programs for gyms all over the world. And these kind of programs, they send instructors to these module trainings that they have to follow to get a certificate. And I'm one of the trainers who then teach that module to new instructors so that they'll be able to get certified and teach classes in the gyms.
Okay.
So before that, that's what I was doing, just be a personal training and teaching class and being an international trainer. And then at some point, I wanted to start our own gym with a good friend of mine.
Yes.
And we started 7 years ago with a CrossFit box. And I think
What was the concept of CrossFit Box?
CrossFit box, you got 3 elements. You got gymnastics, conditioning, and weightlifting.
Yeah.
And based on those 3 fundamentals of things, they create workouts. And that's pretty challenging. So when I say Olympic weightlifting, you got to think about snatches, overhead squats, a lot of things that you do with a weighted bar.
Yes.
Conditioning, anything that has to do with spiking up the heart rate.
Yes.
Or working at a steady state pace. And gymnastics, think about handstand walks, pull-ups, push-ups, muscle-ups, like all these crazy things that you can do as a gymnast. And they combine the 3 to give you a dynamic workout.
Okay, nice. So that was that 7 years ago you started, and then that was your first one, right?
That's the first one.
And the second one was?
The second one started in 2020.
All right. And that was?
That's my immersive studios.
Okay.
The first one is CrossFit Immersive. Second one is Immersive Studios. And that one started 2020, actually. 2020, And that's more focused on personal training, one-on-one coaching. And that's the gym that we also use to work with the government, as in we really want to have a social impact.
All right.
So that's why you saw me at that event.
Nice.
We are one of the main partners, one of 5, when it comes to making people fit for society.
Nice.
And also fit to work or fit to go to school. So we have an intense program that we developed to help young people between 17 and 27 who are struggling, who are living in
Society?
They're living in a society, but they're also out of society, as in they don't come out of their houses. They're struggling with mental health. They're struggling with, finding purpose or finding what they want to do with their lives when it comes to school and work, and maybe struggling to find a job. And because of that, they get stuck in a certain circle, or I would say
Aspect of life.
Yeah, aspect of life, or how would I call it? Like they isolate themselves in their own house,
In our own world or bubble.
exactly. And we try to get them out of that ISO, and then help them develop the fundamentals they need to participate in society again.
Okay, and that's what you do with immersive, with the
Immersive-
collaboration with.
Yeah, with the government, yeah, from Immersive Studios, yeah.
Okay, nice. And when did you get the idea to start in fitness or start your business in fitness? Because I saw your background. You have a lot of talent. You did like your background in school was management, in other words, you could have went in finance or any other industry.
Yeah.
Why did you choose fitness? And from where did your idea came from?
Well, I always had a passion for movement.
Okay.
I was never the type to sit still and listen to a teacher for 8 hours. Like, I
Me
could,
too.
I could and I can, but I was always struggling with it because
I'm struggling with that
I was always
now
looking
too.
outside and like, I want to play, I want to move,
Yeah.
I want to do something. And back in the days, there was seen as being stupid, to be honest. Like, why do you want to play outside? You got to be in school and study and understand things. And I always had like this idea that school's important, of course, the fundamentals are important, but eventually if you know what you want to do or what you're passionate about, you should focus on that, regardless of what they say on school. But for me to realize that, it took some time. I finished school and then I started working for, I would say, the IRA or the
IRS.
The IRS, thank you, for the government. And that was really, I couldn't. I had a good function. I was a manager there.
Yeah.
So I had a good job. Function was good. The youngest manager they had in 10 years, I was 22. And most of the people who were working there were 35, 36.
Nice.
But no, I wasn't happy there. So I quit my job. And I followed my passion. It was movement. So I quit my job to work as a fitness instructor. And that was getting a salary that level to dropping down to this level.
Yes.
But I was like, I'm at peace.
Nice.
And I was having fun, and I was doing what I like, and I knew that I was good at it.
But did you had, like, when you drop in salary, did you have everything figured out already for the plan that you would execute to get where you was?
No.
Okay.
No. I would say what I believe is that, I believe everyone has a certain purpose in life, a certain calling. And once you listen to that calling, you answer to it. I believe, by listening to the right voice, it will guide you to the right paths, I would say. And that's what happened to me, because I listened to what I felt and what I had to do, and I believed I had to stop and I just go into fitness. I never knew that me starting as a fitness instructor, I'd become a personal trainer, I would become a national trainer, an international trainer. I traveled all over the world as an international trainer to teach classes. I've been in the Ziggo Dome full of people doing classes. I've been in Amsterdam called the Westergasfabriek, also a huge event hall where I did events. So I never knew I would get to this point. I only knew that I had a passion for fitness, but I also had a greater passion to help people.
Nice.
Yeah.
And on the path, you mix both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nice. Mm-hmm. And how was it when you got, like, you started with your gym? How was it in management, collaborating with people, building up your business, in other words, building up the gym to what it is till the day of today?
So the first gym, actually, the CrossFit gym, I'm happy that I have a partner that I have that I'm doing it with, and we had a clear vision. I think we believe that CrossFit was the new wave to step on when it comes to fitness.
Yes.
And because everyone wants to do fitness, but CrossFit wasn't there, very popular in the Netherlands. So, but we knew it was going to be popular because we saw the trends in America and other countries, So we knew that was going to work. We followed that, and it worked. Our gym is super stable. And along the way, as our business was growing, because at the beginning you got to do everything yourself, at some point you get more clients, more people participating to the classes. You got to put more classes on the roster. Then you look for trainers, and that are certified to do and teach those classes. And that's what we did. And at some point we got more trainers so that we could step back and do less classes and manage the trainers more, or be in contact with the trainers, or, And at some point, the company started like running on its own. Of course, someone needs to be more on the ground, and in that first gym, we were there together. But at some point, when I started Immersive Studios, my partner was more on the ground there, so that we could put more focus on Immersive Studios.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when you say like, do you have like the ability to, or like the skills in management, whereby like finance, all that, or you have like it's separate, or you have like general knowledge because of your background in school, or you self-learned it?
When it comes to management,
Yeah.
End of the day, management comes down to how you run things, right?
Yeah.
So everyone has a vision and how they want to run their own business. And you just gotta find your way, as in what is important for you to, what is important when it comes to running a business. For me, it's like, okay, people need to feel comfortable.
Yes.
The environment needs to be safe,
Yes.
so that you can have open communication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very important. Everyone should feel heard. And as a manager, I believe you should also be a leader. So I'm more of like a lead by example management than telling people what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, it has to do with my background in school, what I've learned, but it's also looking at who I am and looking at other leaders.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And who is one of the great leaders that you looked up to, or you learned from more?
My dad,
Nice.
the best leader I could ever have. So yeah, definitely. He's a good manager. People want to follow him. He's a strict person. I'm not as strict as him.
Yes.
That's crazy because people still had a kind of a fear for him because of his strictness, but he was always honest, So I learned a lot from him. Yeah, definitely.
As a father figure.
Yeah, as a father figure and as a manager, yeah.
And what is one of the main lessons that you learned from him growing up, or based on life lesson that he gave you? Until the day of today, you're like, I'm grateful for having a dad.
Being someone who's set the example. You can tell people what to do,
Yes.
but people will rather listen to you if you show them how it's done.
Yes.
And if you can execute it at an expert level,
Yes.
and then tell them what to do.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And that's what he always did. He did everything on his own. And once he got there, okay, now understand how the progress is to everything, understand the steps.
Yes.
I can execute it very well. So now I'm gonna lead people in that, and that's what I like from him.
Nice.
Everything he's talking about, he has sense of knowledge of it, and he has done it before. So
Okay. In other words, lead by example.
Lead by example.
He talked the talk and walked the walk.
Exactly.
He didn't do exactly vice versa.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's what I like. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And now you yourself, on what are you mostly focused on? As in your self-improvement?
As an individual, you mean, or like,
Individual, business-wise?
Yeah, I focus on just creating impact, man. I want to make impact in society. I want to help people become better in every aspect. I just believe that I have this urge to put people in their strength, That's what I most of the time look for.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how important do you find soft skills?
Yeah, eventually you need soft skills you need soft skills also. It's also part of management, I think, so.
Okay. So like communication, leadership,
Yeah.
and socializing with people.
Yeah.
How they make you feel, how you make them feel, and how important is that, like, to get where you have to be? Do you find it like, is it one of the skills that you need, or mostly is it hard skills, whereby you only need like the technical, or?
I think soft skills, you need soft skills definitely to manage. So, like, if you want to get a certain message across, you should know how to communicate.
Yeah.
And how to communicate, how to get that message across. How do you want to say it to people? How can you bring it in a way that they understand? How do you communicate with them when they're not doing exactly what you want them to do? How do you go about all those things? And I think mastering those things is very important because it makes you more of a people manager.
Yes.
And I believe that's great. The hard skills are good also, of course. I mean, if you can mix the two, it's perfect. If you can show that you got certain skills in something and then you mix it with soft skills, it's perfect. Yeah, that's good to do. Hmm.
Yes. Okay. Nice. And in consideration with recently you went to Ghana.
Hmm.
What can you tell about Ghana? You was raised there.
I'm born in Ghana.
Yes.
Came at a young age to the Netherlands. Yeah, what is it that you want to know about Ghana, actually?
Like in general, how is it to go to Ghana? Like,
It's like home.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no place like home. I believe I'm a really strong advocate for Africa because I believe that Africa has been exploited for way too long.
That's true.
Our people have been suffering for way too long, and I believe people have done terrible things on our continent. And people perceive Africans as, when I grew up, people perceived Africans as poor people, stupid people, bad people, bad-smelling people. Our food was terrible.
That's true.
Like
in the Caribbean too.
We were seen as the lowest of the lowest, and the crazy thing is, also by fellow black people, as in the Caribbeans. And I'm like, how, if we look at history, I always think like, how stupid has the Western world made us that we tend to hate on our own people? And so for me, I'm a strong advocate for Africa because I believe that that's bullshit. Nowadays, if you look at what Africa is doing in the music industry, now everyone is singing African songs without even knowing the lyrics. You know what I mean? Everyone is dancing in the way that we Africans dance on music, and now it's all of a trend. First of all, people didn't like it, and now we're like trending with our music and with our clothing style. And you see now everyone wants to marry like an African. They want to have that traditional wedding and those beautiful things. So we're not that bad actually, and we're not that ugly and smelly and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So when we talk about Africa, God, it's like coming home because I know the potential of our continent. I see the potential. I believe that Africa is going to be the next superpower. And I'm a strong advocate for that. And so going to Ghana is like home. Seeing my people is great. Of course, there's poverty, but we also got a lot of riches. There's a lot of development going on. And Africa has a lot of love to give, especially when you come to Ghana, I can say. People are super really welcoming. You know what I mean?
You can even experience here in the Western world.
Very welcoming, very friendly. Also very funny, in my opinion, because our African parents are the funniest. They get angry and stuff like that, At first you're scared. As a kid, you're afraid of them. You're scared, and then when you grow up, you're just like, they're just hilarious, man. So, Africa's like Ghana's like coming home.
Nice. And recently, when you went there, how did you experience it, and what did you do?
What did I do? So, what I do is I got a school that I work on. So I'm building a school at the moment in Ghana, a school where 1,000 kids can participate on education. It's a huge building. So that's what I had to work on. I also had to work on some other stuff, but for now I cannot say too much about it because there's a documentary coming about it.
All right.
So people can see it online. It's about who I am in Ghana and who I am amongst my people. And
by when would it be released?
I think approximately 3 to 4 weeks time.
From now?
From now.
Okay. So in other words, end of June?
We can expect something end of June, yeah, exactly. Okay. And and there's also something else in the pipeline, as in that documentary is going to be online, but I think it's really going to do something. But we're also talking with some TV stations to launch it over there, and that might also, there's a big possibility that that's happening also.
Okay, nice. So you're building a school in Ghana?
I'm building a school in Ghana.
And do you have any other project that you have in consideration with Ghana or Africa in general, or plans that you have?
Yeah, so orphanages, I love to support orphanages, but also create business.
In Ghana itself?
In Ghana, I'm so definitely interested in business. When it comes to real estate, I'm really, really hands-on on that. Yeah, bro. So I'm trying actually because to be honest, in the Western world, it's already capitalized. You know, everything is already taken. And it's very-
Overvalued, and to get in,
yeah,
it's,
you know,
in our position, it's better to invest at home.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And
easy.
you could leverage with the amount of money here way more than back home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's for your own people, and then you could
Yeah.
do the international transaction.
Exactly. So it's better to do something there than build up the leverage so that you can level with what happens here. So that's the goal, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. And I'm also trying to see other African countries. Also been to on this trip. I went to Ivory Coast.
Yes.
To
How was
see-
it? I never went to Africa, but I have a lot of African friends at this point, and I want to go to Ghana, Nigeria for sure, and South Africa. I be hearing they're like really developing in tech and that stuff.
Kenya's best in tech.
Yeah, Kenya.
Nairobi, yeah, man.
Maybe I'm
Yeah, if you're into tech, Nairobi, they're leading when it comes to tech. But I want to see all African countries, man. Bro, I want to see all African countries. I want to see, like, I've been to Nigeria before. Never been to Ivory Coast. I've been to Togo.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go to Burkina Faso, for example, because of Ibrahim Traore. He's really like
the guy's the real G now.
He started a
He's
movement, you know, and that's crazy because it's time, man. We need to step away from being controlled and not being
in other words,
able to
enslaved.
it's enslavement.
Enslaved financially,
Yeah,
mentally, socially,
everything,
emotionally,
right? Yeah.
intellectually.
Exactly, all those things up. So finally, let us take care of ourselves. Give us that freedom.
We've been suffering already, so let us
we're
solve
still
our own
suffering,
problem.
and we're still suffering to this day. So
Yeah.
we know what suffering is. It's nothing new for us. So you
Yeah.
don't need to come and help us because we know what pain is. We know what everything is. So let us handle ourselves. You know.
That's true. And the value that we have, like in general, in Africa and in the Caribbean, it's like a lot. We're not even talking about commodities under the ground. Like in consideration with the knowledge that we have, the type of people, the trends that you're building, the trendsetters, the value that we have in different industries.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
why not?
a lot of industries they came to Africa, saw African prints, and started making business. And I don't know which brand it is. It's still like the blocks of Louis Vuitton and like all these big brands. Their prints. They all got it from African tribes.
Yeah, that's true.
And made business out of it. And made it seem like
like
it's
the
European.
little bee that you know is
Yeah,
real
yeah.
famous, and all the patterns in
Exactly.
all the
Yeah.
designs.
Yeah, it's not designed by them.
Yeah,
It's
no.
stolen. So I believe like we have a lot to contribute to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And in consideration with, you have a foundation, of your foundation, and what does it specialize specifically?
We want to build and create environments where young kids and young adults, can develop themselves in the utmost of the world. So we want to create environments where people can work on their talents, on their skills, on education. You know, that's the goal. We want to make them understand wherever they are that in their environment there are opportunities, and you don't need to leave a country to seek for opportunities. You know what I mean?
Nice.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any wishes in general?
Any?
Personal wishes,
Wishes.
or certain situation or experience that you want to come to pass before?
Well, I hope I live long enough and healthy enough to build the kingdom that I have in front of me, like as a vision.
Okay.
I know I actually said too much, but
Yeah.
exactly what I wanna do. You know
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All your goals and all, the epitome of being of success, but in other words, certain stuff that you don't even share with people, but only you could see it.
Yeah, and I'm yeah. So that's one of the things I'm also doing in Ghana, you know. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And in the Netherlands, what do you enjoy in the Netherlands or in the Western world?
what I do right now is like I love to work with young people as long as I can. I want to inspire them, motivate them, especially the ones who can use support, you know.
Yes.
But also be like an example somehow so that they will also see their talents and their own capabilities of doing something, you know.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice, nice.
yeah.
And do you train like athletes that compete in whatever sports?
Yeah, I have trained a lot of athletes. I've trained athletes that compete in basketball, athletes that play professional football, athletes that are world champions when it comes to kickboxing. So, yeah, I do that a lot.
Okay. So whenever I want to compete in something, I could come and get prepared by you.
Exactly.
Okay. For real, I will hit you up.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Okay, nice. And in consideration with, you train a lot, right?
Yeah, I train a lot. Yeah.
And usually, what do you train? Like upper, everything.
Everything.
And what would you say if you want to build like a healthy physique, or like in general, like a healthy physique, you want to be buffed or you want to get more lean or whatever your goals is, what would you say is like the progress or the process to get there? Like consistency, what more?
I would like to actually deviate from that and make people understand that you should train for feeling good, for your health.
Yes.
You know, for being healthy. And once that's there, as in you're consistent in training, you're consistent with, you're balanced with your healthy food. So by balanced, I mean that, of course, it's good to eat good stuff that you like, but it should be balanced. But you should also get your vitamins and your vegetables and the right type of carbs and fats in your body and meat and protein, you know. So that's the balance you should have. So that's the focus, to have a balanced life. And once that's good, you can focus on getting stronger and more buff and stuff like that. But I tend to deviate from that because once you start training aesthetic,
Yes.
by aesthetic I mean focus on how you look.
Yeah.
That's gonna take over your mind because most people never get satisfied with the way they look.
Okay.
Once you train them, you know, you will train them and like, okay, I lost weight, but I still want to do this, and I still want to do that, and I still want to do this, and they tend to forget to enjoy the success they have accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, because they're so in that rush. So I will tell people to train for health, train for a balanced lifestyle, get enough sleep, and once that is okay and all good, and you're in the right state of mind, you can focus on aesthetic training.
Okay. Then you could focus on aesthetic. Okay,
Right.
Nice advice. And what the general advice would you give to the youth, adults,
When it comes to training?
in general, life advice?
Yeah, you know, I really believe that it's good to know where you're heading. So where are you going in life? What is it that you want to do? Try to figure out those things as fast as you can to have a purpose in life. You know, you're very blessed if you can find your purpose in life at a very young age. If you can find what you're called for at a very young age. If you have that, it gives you so much peace because you know where you're heading. And I believe that a lot of young people nowadays don't know where they're heading. So that means if you don't know where you're heading, you just go on around. And then it can get you in all sorts of trouble, you know what I mean? And all sorts of problems. So find your calling, find your purpose, and and if you find your calling and you know what you're called for, you know what God has called you for, trust me, that's going to give you so much peace.
Okay.
You know, and of course you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to experience everything in life, you know, that's part of life. But as long as you know where you're heading, you can always stand up, step back, and walk towards that direction. And along the way, you will get stronger. You'll be tested, you know. You'll be challenged, but that will all help you because once you get to the point where you need to be, then you're prepared.
Okay.
And then you can fulfill your calling.
We'll go to a break and then we will get to the next question and
Cool.
then close it up.
Got you. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yes? Just give us advice about general life advice. What would you give advice about the training in general? Your experience, all the knowledge that you learn of a year of experience.
You know, when it comes to fitness, there's like, most of the time you want to know what the goals of people are so that you can give them the tools they need. But when it comes to fitness, I would say the advice that I would give to people is that it's very important how cliche it sounds, to move that body. A lot of people love sitting still and watching movies and eating good stuff and just chilling, but movement is actually so healthy for the body. Movement is so incorporated in our body that I always say, even if you're not moving, you're moving.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that? Even if you're not moving,
Yeah. When you're sleeping, you're still burning calories.
something is moving. You know, that's how movement is incorporated in our nature. We are made to move.
Yes.
People are created to move. Like the day that you stop moving is actually the day that you're dead.
Yeah.
The body that doesn't move anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as long as you live, you gotta do what your body's created for, and I think it's to move. So I would advise every single person, big or small, thick or thin,
Yes.
old or young, just move. Start with something small if you don't like it, and then gradually build it up. Go to a gym, look for a trainer, look for an instructor, look for a personal trainer, go to a class that you can follow a coach.
Yes.
Find a community that you want to be part of, and just move.
Nice. And because you said train. Do you train trainers
Yeah.
yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are you seeking for trainers, or you guys are all full already?
Well, there's nothing wrong with having an extra trainer.
Or only serious people? Or what?
Only serious people will get through, of course.
Got it.
Yeah. If he cannot come to our place and not be serious and demand to be a trainer, that's not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in other words, it's not like a lot of open spots, or?
Well, at the moment we have 1, 2.
How much spots open?
We got 9 coaches
Oh, already.
already.
Okay. And in consideration to adding more, there's no need, or
There
Or
could be.
they could manage the capacity of the clients the client base that you have now.
Yeah. But we're growing as a business, and we need coaches who are able to not only to instruct when it comes to movement and fitness,
Yes.
but we need coaches who can instruct when it comes to lifestyle coaching.
Okay.
You know, that's what the need is now. Like
Okay.
coaches who are able to understand where someone's life situation is at the moment,
Yes.
and what it takes to get it to the point, where the client is like, yeah, I'm good with this.
I'm satisfied. Or
Yeah.
I see my result came to pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And consider with client base, like who is welcome, who is not welcome. Like let's say they could come pay like every month, but if they're not serious, how does that go? Like you like clients that are
So everyone is
serious.
welcome. Everyone is welcome, but we will have an intake, and based on that conversation, we decide if we're a match or not.
Okay.
And if we're a match, then we'll trade.
Yeah.
And you will love our place.
And if you're not a match, go to another chain.
If you're not a match, you won't like our place. It's very simple. You come and you be like, you don't fit in. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, God.
You know, and we had a couple of people like that didn't fit in, and that's fine. You know, you
Yeah.
just find another place.
Yeah. Understandable. Nice. And what do you like? What do you like eating? What's your hobby?
What do I like eating? As in, you're saying what's your hobby? As you telling me?
Yeah, no, but what
my
do
hobby is to eat?
no.
that what you-
Your
is that
physique
what
is
you're
good.
saying?
No, but like, what do you like
My hobby
eating? What
is
is
to
your hobby? What's your sport? What do you do in your free
I'm
time?
playing with you.
Yeah.
Basically, what I love to do, my hobby, is when I get it's funny actually. I'm such a nerd, to be honest.
Do you read books too?
No, I'm a nerd as in, when I got free time and I'm not tired, I like to watch mangas. As in, it's not cartoons, but Japanese cartoons.
What, like real life, you learn life story situation and what is it? I don't know what it
Making
is.
it so serious.
Like
you're
know
making
Naruto.
it sound good. Yeah, that's what
because
I
me,
look.
I never
I
know
don't-
Naruto.
that's
Me,
what
I
I-
was never like that thing. But my brother told me it's real life story, but just in a cartoon. And then I was like, oh, interesting. But I never watched Naruto. What do you call the other ones?
It's not a real life story, but it's like You can when you like
Dragon
it's
Ball Z.
yeah, Dragon Ball Z. Like but the thing is with these Japanese cartoons, there's always like a story that can actually motivate someone to do very good. Like Naruto example is about this boy. His father used to be the king of the village.
Yeah.
And because the village was in a grave danger, the father fought for the village but lost his life.
Okay.
And then abandoned. Then the son, and his mom also died during that fight. Yeah. So he grew up without parents, and he didn't know about his parents, but everyone in the village knew who his parents were. Okay. But because he had no parents, he grew up being like a bastard, being like a, someone that no one wants to talk to. He was very rude. But this kid grew up to be the strongest ninja in their village. That's the thing, and the most respected one, and he became a hero, and so stuff like that, But it's funny. Okay. Yeah, that's what I like to watch.
So anime. Oh, none of that. I don't be watching, but my brother was like, "There's a storyline. They teach you stuff, real life," and I'm like, "Okay, now it's interesting." But when it comes to the graphics and how, like, based on my mind, I'm always like, "Oh, maybe it's just for like children or like cartoon." I always thought like it's cartoon for children.
I'm looking at the camera. You see what he say?
Like bubble guppy, like those type of.
It keeps me young. Okay, it keeps me young.
Okay, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So you like watching
anime?
Is it? Oh, you like watching anime?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Then you could be friends with my brother.
I like watching anime.
You like watching?
What's wrong with watching anime,
no,
guys?
It's not wrong, but like it's like me myself. I had like a prejudice of anime. Like before, I would judge it like this is that, but then I knew about it. But everything till the day of today, I don't watch anime. I watch documentaries.
I watch documentaries too.
Yeah, but I don't watch. Maybe I will be open to watch anime, but the good ones that is based on true stories, not the fiction ones.
But even if they're fiction, some of them have great stories, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and One Piece. I would advise. The rest, I don't think. That's. That's Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Okay, my brother used to call me, I don't know, Piccolo, because I had a big head growing up, and that's the only that's how I know a little bit.
He called you Piccolo?
Yeah.
You know what Piccolo is?
I think the one with the long hair.
No, the green with pointy ears.
Something like that. He used to call me Piccolo and some other names.
What else? Hope it's not Krillin.
No, there was one. Piccolo and which one?
Yeah, Piccolo and
and I don't know
Frieza.
some other. Yeah, I think that one. Yeah, that one. He used to call me Frieza too, because growing up I had a big head and all that, and my body was always like, my head was always popping off. So based on that, yeah.
Called you Frieza, okay.
But yeah, that's the only way I knew about it. But in consideration, I was always on playing football. That's cool.
That's good. I was doing the same.
Nice.
Yeah, but then watching anime after.
Okay. And what's your favorite food? Your favorite dish?
Favorite food.
Before you answer that, which one is better, Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof?
Don't start that.
Bro, I mean, I can say it because I'm not that.
It's scientifically proven.
For real.
It's scientifically proven that Ghanaian jollof rice is better when you don't like too much pepper.
Okay.
Because Nigerian jollof is just rice and put as many pepper as you want.
It's spicy.
It's one bite and you're
sweating.
You're sweating. Your tongue starts burning. Your eyes are popping out. You drink this in 2 seconds. I'm sorry, camera woman. She's Nigerian, but I don't care. I have to say it. It is scientifically proven. I don't know where you can find the research, but you will find it. Ghana jollof rice is scientifically proven to be better than Nigerian jollof rice. Yeah.
And your favorite dish is?
Not jollof rice. My favorite dish.
Is it the Ghanaian dish?
No, man. It's just, what's my favorite dish?
Or what you be eating more often that you enjoy? Be like, okay.
I like actually to eat like vegetables and chicken.
For real, just vegetables?
Vegetables and chicken.
Nice. Okay.
I can go on like when vegetables are really steamed and soft and spiced up, not with spices like pepper, but normal spices. We're not talking about Nigerian spices because or else my brain would go. Sorry to my Nigerian peoples, I love you guys, but the food, man, it's too spicy. I'm not a spicy person, so.
Me neither.
Wow, then don't go eat. Then don't eat Nigerian jollof rice. She can tell you.
Okay, got it. So you like eating chicken and vegetables?
Yeah, some protein, chicken, normal, yeah. Cliche, chicken, yeah, black man chicken. We love chicken. So sorry, and vegetables, yeah.
Okay. Nice. And what? I always ask this question. Like, you specialize mostly in fitness and this. If you could build a optimal, in consideration with player or client that could perform to go through your performance process as nice as possible to get to the result, what are the abilities or skills that you would like them to have? Like consistency,
My
being
clients?
serious. Yeah.
You know, along the way you learn a lot. Like, of course, I'm into fitness. I'm more into health. You know, like it's broader than that.
Okay.
And health is not only physically, it's also mentally, it's emotionally. You know, so I try to see where that person is.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, and that is good. Then that's good. You know, but if someone, I want to know your why.
Okay.
Why is it that you want to reach your goal?
Okay.
And if your why is big enough, then you do whatever it takes to reach your goal, you know. So you build up consistency, discipline, and all that stuff. But if your why isn't big enough,
You will be slacking or doing whatever,
yeah.
and just participate.
Exactly.
Okay, nice. Guys, we have come to the end. I would like to say, you guys could follow this guy on every social media platform. Contribute into whatever project he has. Me, myself, I will contribute, but keep that on the low. But yeah, contribute to his foundation or whatever. If you want to collaborate with him, do business, you have access to him through his Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever. If you want to do business or collaborate with him or do whatever, you could get in contact with him. I would say support the future in consideration. He's a big advocate for Africa. Support Africa if you want to support Africa. He has his foundation. You could give whatever you have, whatever you could, or whatever you want, or maybe things that you don't even know about. You could add way more value to him. And I would say, me myself, I don't know, I just like you. Maybe it's how you carry yourself, or I think it's really how you carry yourself and how you socialize with people. Mm-hmm. I would say you're a people person. And based on that, I clicked and I was like, I should have him as a guest and link with him.
And I would love to. They see it. I said yes.
Yes, nice.
Easy as that, man.
Yes, and what do you have to say for the fans or the people that support you?
For the people who supported me, thank you. For the people who have followed me, find your calling, find your purpose. And for the people who hate me, I love you too.
We're out.
We're out.
Thank you, man. Nice, man. Okay.